So I will be telling you more about this topic over there. You can see various people have assisted in completing this project, with Bakker Vessels initially wanting to evaluate the model in South Africa, which is extensively used in Europe. So we did the research to improve fusee management, specifically looking at disease prediction models, but then also a fusee orchard monitoring system that can be used in fall to rate the risk of fusee orchards. So if the weather is like now and you have limited time and spray machines to get into your orchard, you will know exactly which is your most high-risk fusee orchards that you need to spray first. With regard to the disease forecasting models, the iLeaf has been used for very long. It only uses climatic conditions for predicting how severe an infection event will be. So we looked at impro, which is the European model, which in addition to climatic conditions also looks at the rate at which fusee are released from the orchard floor where it has overwintered. So we evaluated impro over 3 seasons in several orchards, 3 to 5 orchards. In the first 2 years, the orchards were in the Grabouw and Kouwe-Bokkeveld region, and in the last season, due to limited orchards having fusee, we only worked in the Grabouw region. So we evaluated the model by using what we call trap trees. So we place these in and out the orchards and evaluate the number of lesions that develop on the trees. And then we also use spore samplers to determine how much spores are released from the orchard floor. So with evaluating the different methods for estimating the severity of fusee at the end of fall, we looked at 3 methods. The first one is a leaf counting that is most time consuming. It is 60 trees, 10 shoots per tree that are evaluated, and you count the number of fusee lesions on the first year of growth. The shoot counting is less time consuming. It is also 60 trees per hectare, 10 shoots per tree. And then the reduced shoot counting is the least time consuming, being 25 trees per hectare, 10 shoots per tree, just counting the absence or presence of fusee. So this is an output of the impro model, which I think illustrates nicely which factors it used to decide how severe the infection event will be. If you look at there at the bottom, it shows the depletion of your fusee overwintering in the orchard floor, because the spores get ripe at different rates during the season and they get released at different rates as well. So along with these different size of spores being released, you also then use the climatic conditions to determine which is going to be the most severe infection event, which is shown by the red lines on there, which we call the RIM values. So what we found in all 3 seasons, it was a drought, so not the best time to evaluate the model, but they were therefore very low to no ascospores, especially in the 2017-18 season, that we could detect it with the methods that we used. Nonetheless, we were able to see in 2 seasons that impro was effective at predicting a disease severity based on our trapped data for both seasons, and then only in the 2015 season also on our spore trap catches. But as I mentioned, in the 2017-18 there were so few ascospores that they were below our level of detection, and for some unknown reason in the 2016-17 season the model seemed less accurate at predicting the severity of infection events. So looking at the different methods that we use to rate the risk of our orchards in fall, all 3 methods actually correlated very well with each other. However, the leaf counting method was more accurate at discriminating between the severity of orchards. So currently our recommendation is that impro does show potential for evaluating apple scab, severity infections, and most likely only to add on additional sprays to prevent food infections during severe seasons. We still need to see whether we can risk spraying less. Then the shoot counting method, if you have low scout capacity, you can use that. However, if you have enough scout capacity, the leaf counting method is better at ranking your orchards for risk for fusy. And then in future studies, we're going to evaluate Rimpro this season again, and we're also going to look at the potential of sexual versus asexual reproduction, especially when it's dry, warm seasons like we've experienced the last 3 seasons.